Hey guys, I'm Valentina.
And I'm Luke.
We're back this week with another gospel video. This week's gospel is Matthew chapter 14 verses 13 to 21, where Jesus feeds over 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish.
That's impossible! How does 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish feed over 5,000 people? It just doesn't math out.
Let's look at the passage and we'll see how it all happened. In this passage, Jesus was in a deserted place, and in this place a large crowd of people started to form around him. Jesus felt compassion for them and healed their sick. When the evening came, the crowd was still there. The disciples told him to send the people to nearby villages so they could get themselves food. However, Jesus told his disciples to let them stay and to give them something to eat. His disciples told him, "We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes." Jesus still asked for them. He asked the crowd to sit on the grass, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and broke the 5 loaves and 2 fish. Everyone, more than 5,000 people before him, ate and were filled. They took what was left, and there was enough to fill 12 big baskets.
No way! That's impossible! How did Jesus turn that little food into enough to feed 5,000?
Let me explain. This story demonstrates God's love for us. The people in the story were in need, and Jesus was able to satisfy everyone, and then some. In our daily lives, sometimes we can get distracted by many things, and we can forget that Jesus is there to help us. We can lose sight of what is important for us, but we can depend on Jesus and pray to Him for help. Prayer is our spiritual food that we need to keep a strong relationship with Christ. None of our problems are too much for Him to help us with. And this passage proves just that. Jesus, no matter how big or small our problem is, will always be there to help us.
So does that mean if I'm hungry, Jesus could give me a bunch of food and snacks?
No, He's not going to give us fish and bread when we are hungry. But whenever we are feeling sad or maybe something is on our minds, we can depend and rely on Jesus.
Okay, but that still doesn't explain how 5 breads and 2 fish turns into enough food to feed 5,000 people. There's still numbers missing. So the fish, it's actually a whale. And if you look at the bread and then I think you take the sign of X as 5, it's 7, it's enough.
Okay, maybe this will help. Do you remember in the passage when it says, "And looking up to heaven, He blessed and broke the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes." He asked God, our Father, to help him feed the 5,000 people. He didn't just get it from thin air. It wasn't just a lame magic trick, but he performed a miracle of God. And that is how he was able to feed more than 5,000 people. And if we have a strong relationship with the Lord and a good prayer life, Jesus can help us in many ways. Prayer is our spiritual food, and with lots of it, we will grow closer to God. Just like how when we eat food, we are full and happy. If we pray and keep a strong relationship, we can overcome any problem with the Lord's help.
So, Jesus performed a miracle, and so the math doesn't really matter.
Yep, Jesus even knows what we need before we ask Him, or even before we know it ourselves. Notice how the people in the passage didn't go to Jesus asking Him for food. He asked His disciples to tell them to stay to eat.
Even if it's something really, really big?
Yep, just like Jesus fed 5,000 people, you can pray to Jesus to help you whenever you have problems.
So like, even if I do really, really bad on a math test, does that mean He could change my mark to 100?
No, not like that. But you can pray to God and ask Him to help you study better and to have the concentration and knowledge to ace the next one. Also, when you pray to Jesus, your prayers might not be answered in the way you might think or expect. Our prayers might be answered differently, but Jesus knows what we need and will always answer our prayers in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, I get it now. I can always depend on Jesus, and I can always know that He'll be there for me.
There you go, that's perfect. I'm so glad you understand now. Now you guys will be able to pray to God anytime you need help in your lives.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, press that like button, and leave a comment down below for more videos like this one. We love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch last week's video, where we talked about the parable of the hidden treasure. Well, That's it for me. See y'all next week. Bye.